That ain't gonna work. Okay. All right. Good evening. We made it. Got the coffee? All right. We got a lot of people in here today. Oh, hold on. Oh, crap. I forgot to fix the lights. Oh, well. We'll just run with what we got. We'll deal with it. Y'all can see me fine enough, right? Let's see. Oh, wow. We got a lot of people in here. Make sure you're hitting that like button, which looks like y'all have already. So that appreciate that. Tara, Cal, good to see y'all. Jade, good to see you. Emery's good to see you as well. Oni-chan. Wasabi. Wildfire, glad you made it. Don't worry, Wildfire, almost only counts in horseshoes and hand grenades, so you made it on time. Peachy, Emily, and KRY, good to see y'all. All right. So hopefully everybody's had a good weekend. I know it's been nice here. Look at that shadow's killing me. Alexa, turn on the video light.
Okay.
There we go. That looks better. That looks a lot better. Okay. Oh, wait, hold on. Before we have an incident like we did last week, let's make sure she can't hear anything else I say. Let's see here. And before y'all ask, my wife set that little gizmo up for me. So thanks to her, I have an office assistant that sometimes listens to me. Emily, I'm here with Iced Coffee and Drawing Program. Nice. It's always good to have an art program with you. Let's see, Wasabi, the day Drake runs out of coffee is the true end of the world. Yes, it is. My wife has actually threatened me because I actually tried to cut back on coffee once early in our marriage. That did not go well. And she actually began pouring coffee down me. So she said that will not happen. So, no, we keep plenty of coffee around here. Ms. Weeks, good to see you again. Glad you can make it. Let's see. Had a great weekend. Made a new ghost friend on Friday. Really good steak. Hey, good steak's always good. Luna, good to see you. And it's going good. I've actually had a pretty good weekend. I actually did take the day off yesterday, though I was so tempted to actually get some work done that I keep telling myself don't work on my days off. So I managed not to do it. So I sat down, did some reading, relaxed, turned on the radio, had some music going all day. It was just a really good, relaxing day. And then earlier today, I fired up the smoker to put some chicken on there. So I did some smoked chicken. I always love when I run the smoker. So there you go. And Divine Cartomancer. Hey, good to see you in the stream. Little Earth Dragon, welcome. Emery's, you got me addicted to mint tea, Drake, due to the Arcane Sight video. Well, I guess that's all right. Mint tea's not bad. It's one of my go-tos, especially if I'm having issues sleeping, but definitely for divination work. It's just so easy to get a hold of. Also, Emery, you can also, once you have your tea steeped to the mintiness you like, you can dump some hot cocoa in there, and you make a chocolate mint cocoa. Pretty good. My wife swears it tastes like those little Girl Scout cookies, the mint chocolate ones. Let's see, Cal, other than YouTube, do you have any other community places for us to talk to each other and you? Cal, the best one to go to is Discord. We do have a Discord. You can actually find the link in the About section here on the YouTube channel. I'm in there almost daily. I do check it daily. I'm often in the voice chat, as well as just in the normal text forums. We have a great community there where people do talk a lot, share a lot of their experiences and the likes. We do have a YouTube, or not a YouTube, a Facebook group, though Facebook currently is not letting me post anything, and that's a bit disconcerting. I believe one of my members said I got zucked. I don't know exactly what that term means. But we may have to be closing down the Facebook groups, unfortunately. That is sad. But so right now, Discord is the best place to do so, unless I can figure out the Facebook thing. I'm going to tinker with it for about 2 more weeks, and if it doesn't work, then we're just going to go ahead and can it. Evening, Sierra. Good to see you. Is that Safina? Safina, welcome. And Pyreworm, welcome. Luna, sounds like a great weekend, and you didn't even had to be tied up to rest. No, I didn't. I managed to rest without being chained down this time. It happens occasionally. Occasionally. Tell them much love to all. Much love to you too, man. Appreciate it. Wasabi, trying to get in a magical routine. What are some tips to help stick to it? Oh, dude, this is one of the ones I'm bad at. The only tip I know how to do is set an alarm to remind you to do it. And when that alarm gets off, get up and do it. Don't put it off. Don't say I'm going to finish what I'm doing. Don't give yourself 5 minutes. Get up and do it. And if you literally need to finish something up and take 5 minutes, snooze the alarm. Don't turn it off. Snooze it, because usually a snooze is 5 minutes. But setting alarms for everything that you have on your daily routine is the best way to do it, because that's going to remind you to do it. But you're still going to have to make yourself get up and do it. But you actually do have to do it to get into the routine and the habit. And those are the best ways I have found to do it. I know it sounds silly, but it is. And it seems to work for all my students once they start setting their alarms. Currently the best one for Norse Magick. Oh, wait, hold on. Let me rethink that. Oni-chan, right now I'm still looking through books for Norse Magick. I did post one on a practical guide to Asatru. There's a video on it on the channel in the Norse playlist. That is one that I can say I recommend. It takes a very practical approach and viewpoint to Asatru as a whole and discusses Norse Magick a little bit. But it's not necessarily on Norse Magick. That's why I don't really say I recommend it. But right now, that's the first one that comes to mind. And I am trying to put together a solid Norse Magick list. It's just right now, I can't think of one single book that's readily available. Though it's a little darker and definitely a left-handed approach. And it's an expensive book. Asvar Torvald actually did a good book on Norse Magick. But I cannot remember the title of it. And I think it's like anywhere from $60 to $80 a copy, too. So I try not to recommend expensive books usually. Let's see. Okay, I'm already getting behind here. Let's see. The only coffee I enjoy is a mocha frappe with a crap ton of mint syrup. Well, hey, to each their own. Let's see. Terror. Sorry to hear about the Facebook being done. Hey, it happens. I mean, I don't try to get onto the conspiracy wagon or stuff. So, it could just be a minor malfunction. It could be something I done in the background. I don't know. It could be something on the back office that's my fault. I don't want to make one assumption one way or the other, but it is an issue right now. So hopefully we'll get it figured out. But honestly, there's very little that takes place in those communities. No one ever says anything. People join them, but no one talks. So that being said, seriously, the Discord is the one where everyone's active, which is good because I do want an active community where people can talk and share information. Let's see, Wasabi, I told you to big tech is bad, so diverse your locations. Wasabi, we've already had this conversation, and right now I've only got one person giving me trouble, and it's not YouTube. And I have my reasons for not going to the website that you recommended. Let's see here. Eduardo, welcome. Let's see, Wildfire, I'm wanting to learn healing magic, even make it a bigger part of my practice. Do you recommend any books or resources? Also, will there be any specific spells added to the Dragon Magic 102 or 103? Yeah, there'll be definitely some spells and rituals added to the 102. There should be to the 103 too. It's just that full outline's not. I've not actually finished the outline entirely to say for sure. As far as books on healing, honestly, it's part of a series. But when I think of what book, healing wise, really helped me the most in all my years of practice, if I picked one book, it is Shamanic Witchcraft by Christopher Pinzack. I believe I've even done a video on this book because he does cover different shamanic practices, operations, and shadow work in that book. And the things he talks about, especially the shadow work, it's a very, very healing process that's just naturally healing. And I truly, honestly, for me, and this is a very personal statement, but for me, that book was the single book that was most instrumental in a bulk of my healing in my practice, especially early on, more than any other single book that I utilized over the time. Now, that's not to say other things didn't do healing, other things didn't teach me deeper areas of healing and stuff, but that is probably the one that done the biggest starter healing and got me going best of all, and would be the one I'd probably recommend as a healing book. Even though it's more of a broad spectrum shamanic view, it still ended up being the most healing. Let's see, Wasabi, I got done with the 4-hour work week, and including me making and automating and sampling business to allow me to travel the world. That's great, man. That is definitely great. 4-hour work week is a really good book. It really is. I did not think it would be as good as it was, but it was a good book. And it's one of the ways I managed to do all the things I do, actually. Discord is probably Discord really is the most active one. It's a little crazy in there. Oh, great, Cal! It'd be awesome to have you. I'm glad you joined. Thank you. Normally I try to say hello, but obviously I'm over here, so I'll just say hello here, Cal. Cal, recently I came across the book Tiamat Unveiled by Belle Cadmon. I was wondering what your thoughts on this book is. Actually, Cal, this is the first time I've heard of it. As I was reading the comment here, I was thinking to myself, I need to pop over to Amazon tonight and see if I can find that book and actually get my hands on it because I'd be interested in reading it. That is one thing. My reading, due to doing more of the live streams and stuff, has slightly slipped off a bit, which I don't like too much because I love to get my research in, but at the same time, it's been a blessing to be able to spend so much time working with you all and talking. So, give and take. Plus, you all do actually bring a lot of books to my attention I may not find otherwise. I may not have ever stumbled across that book. So appreciate it. I will check it out though, Cal. And since you're in the Discord, I will also let you know when I get a hold of it and if I get a chance to read it. If you don't mind, in Discord, you should see me up there. It's Working Dragon Mystic. Just so it's not confusing. But as you read it, by all means, let me know what you think of it too. I'd appreciate that. Honestly, Wildfire, the Temple of Witchcraft series by Christopher Pinzack is an amazing series. That's one of the reasons I have the links in all the videos below for those books. I honestly think he does a really practical job of going over magic, its uses, and beginning a person's practice. True, he is a bit more religious than I am on the ideals, but he still does a really great job of covering the subjects. I tell people those 4 books, Inner Temple of Witchcraft, Outer Temple of Witchcraft, Shamanic Witchcraft, and I want to say it's High Temple of Witchcraft is the 4th one, honestly could probably replace a bookshelf of 101 books. Those 4 books alone could. Grayman, where do you get the Discord link? Grayman, the Discord link is in the About section of the YouTube channel. Just click over there, and there'll be a Discord link in there. Let's see. Do you have to have water or other element near you to use its energy? No. It does make it easier to grab a hold of it, but once you understand the energy, you can actually just reach out and pull it to you. So, no, you do not have to have the actual physical element near you because the energy and the physical manifestation of it are 2 actually separate things. So you can actually be in the vacuum of space and still have all the elements around you. Good question. Let's see. Wildfire, there's a book called Liber Draconis where he talks about dragon magic in more of a martial arts form and using that form to protect yourself during spirit travel. That's at least what I think half. I'd have to check it out. It's not one. Yeah, it's not one that I'm aware of. I'll have to add that to my to-read list too, Wildfire. Thank you. I'll be sure to check it out. Wasabi Drake, have you played Vampire the Masquerade table? No, I have not. Sorry. Wildfire is by Christian J. Pollock. All right, I will definitely look into that. Wildfire, thank you very much. Grayman, no problem. Just make sure you read the rules and do follow them. Just like here, we keep the politics out. We try to stay friendly and all that. But definitely, come on in, talk, share your thoughts, and we'll help where we can. Maybe make a sacrifice like a beer. Hey, beer's a good one. Terror, I have a question. Is it possible to keep practicing the learned magic in the afterlife if you can't get all your teachings in this form? Yeah, happens all the time. Like when you hear people talking about ascent or becoming their own divine or divinity or ascending to godhood, however you want to phrase it, this process takes you into the other realms. You get out of the reincarnation cycle, and yes, you continue to learn. You don't immediately just upload all information when that happens. You do continue to learn. All entities in the multiverse are still learning, still practicing, still mastering new knowledge. And so, yeah, we do the same, which is actually kind of one of the things I'm looking forward to. Let's see. Sis Cruz, I just got done reading Satanic Bible by Antonio LaVey. My question is, what now after embracing my new values? Sis Cruz, I don't know what to tell you on that one particularly. I have read that book. It's been years. Um, but I don't approach it as a religion. I approach magic as a science. My code of honor, all those things that I live my life by, have nothing to do with my magical practice. So as far on the religion side, uh, I don't know what to tell you. Um, but I would say continue. The best I can tell you, and this goes for anybody, religious or not, every day wake up and ask yourself, what can I do today to better myself and who I am, my community, my family, my friends, those around me, and be a better person today than I was yesterday. And every night you lay down, know you lay your head down on that pillow knowing you did everything you could within your power to be the best person you could be. Yes, you made mistakes, but learn from those mistakes so that when you wake up tomorrow, you can continue that process. And if you do that, you should be pretty solid to go. And from the Satanists that I do know, and we've had many wonderful discussions, including about that book, that right there should get you on a good fast track to good living. So I hope that helps. I know I'm not a religious man, so that may not be the best answer, but that is by far the best answer I feel I'm qualified to give. Let's see. And Peachy says to get the likes up. Yes, we got 31 people and 21 likes. So definitely smash that like button. Let YouTube know you like the work we're doing. And it helps the algorithm make sure more people who are seeking this information can get a hold of it and therefore can find it, can learn, and can master their lives and start manifesting the life they want. All right. Synchros, thanks. You are welcome. You are welcome. I'm glad I'm able to help somewhat in that one. Christoba, I want to know how to work with my dragons better, but my depression has got me in a bad spot and haven't been keeping up with my studies. Do dragons or entities understand mental health? Yes, they do. They actually do. They understand mental health quite a bit. And this is something we run into a lot. People worry about missing a week, two, even a month, worrying about the dragons will get impatient or something due to mental health, life circumstances getting in the way and whatnot. You got to understand the entire life of a human being will be over before a dragon blinks due to their perspective of time. Time passes so quickly to them in our, because they just live so freaking long. So they're not going to get bored. You can guarantee that. So the question at hand is, why are you not working with them? Is there something that's causing it, like depression? Did something happen at work? Did something happen with your family that requires your attention? If the answer is yes, you got nothing to worry about. Now, if something happens like you want to sit in a beanbag chair eating ding dongs while you drink soda pop and play video games for no reason, then you're just lazy, they might take offense to that. But that is a drastically different situation. And let's be honest, most of us, when we slip out of time, it's not out of laziness, it's because there is a real issue. So, Chris, you have nothing to worry about there. They will be definitely understanding of that. As far as what you can do, I'll be honest with you, depression's a rough road. Magic is not a replacement for professional help. So, depending on where it's at in your life, you might want to maybe get some of that. That can be good stuff. I got a lot of friends that sought help for depression, and it really helped them get their lives on track. I can't tell you what to do. I can't advise you in that. But that aside, what I can do is, try and do something daily that makes you happy. And even if it's just a quick meditation, or check out the hailing ritual and, build a quick hailing ritual to the dragons around that. Even on the worst days, that's something you could even do as you lay down in bed. Something as simple as that could help you feel that connection a bit better and might help you through those harder times. Believe me, I've been there. There's times I have been laid up in bed in a full body cast, and all I can do is a simple ritual like that, or some trance work, or, My last time I was in the hospital, I was able to do journey work, so I didn't spend too much time mentally in the hospital. Know what I mean? But though a simple hailing ritual would definitely do it. And I do know those times can get rough, and I understand that. So, yeah. Chris, thank you very much. I've been going to therapy and taking my meds, so I'm getting somewhere. I just feel bad when not having the best days. Chris, mugs up to you. I appreciate it. I'm glad you were actually taking the steps. That is amazing. I'm very proud of you. Very proud of you. And yeah, the little things can help. So yeah, proud of you, man. Keep it up. Keep it up. And be sure to drop in here on Fridays and Saturdays. Let us know how you're doing. Check in with us. You'll get there. Let's see. Alex. Chris, I'm exactly in the same spot. Been suffering from chronic depression almost a decade and struggling a bit with my practice, but they understand. Hope you get better soon. All right, Alex. Yes, we got a support team going. Alex. I actually have a friend, Alex, that your description fits, and I'm wondering if you're the same Alex. You ain't by chance a redhead who likes running marathons for fun, are you? Let's see here. 7LV, hello, good to see you. Glad you can make it. Let's see. Emily, what would you recommend for someone that seems to be taking energy from people? I'm in the same room as it's pretty bad and I don't want to take energy. How do you start learning not to? Emily, first thing you got to understand, there's a natural energy exchange that happens with all beings, period. It is. Now, a lot of people, when they notice this natural energy exchange that this happens naturally, their brain wants to immediately jump to energy vampire and freak out. And then they want to start talking about black magics and trying to scare everyone or depress people. And it goes down a really black hole that it's just foolish. So, first off, everyone's going to do this to some level. But that said, if you want to reduce it or even stop it entirely, work on your shielding. If you put up a basic bubble shield, as we talked about in the basic grounding and shielding video, and pull your aura inside it, pull it in, then that will separate your energy from the energy of the room and those around you, and problem solved. Hope that helps you some. Emery has finally bought Dragon Magic 101 and a print of Cora Allegra. Awesome, Emery's. Oh my God, that Cora Allegra print is amazing, is it not? I love what Sarah did with that picture. Let's see. Have you read the book 72 Angels of Magic? And if so, how was your experience with the system? Yes, I have read it. And in my initial testings of it, I had some great results. Absolutely great. In fact, it's actually one of the books that's relatively, it was over there earlier. Okay, it's not there now. But I am actually planning to do a full deep dive into it because I love the system. And I am wanting to work with more angels. Y'all know I've had a few rough spots with angels here and there in the past, but I do enjoy working with them and I want to work with them more. I find the areas where I have the least knowledge or the places where I have rough spots or even misunderstandings with entities, those are the areas I want to push into and I want to try and gain an understanding. I find there's a lot to learn and a lot of wisdom to be learned from that different point of view. So I do like the book, and I do plan on revisiting it and taking a far deeper dive in it. But every working I've done from that book, I have got solid success from. Yeah, a lot of people are stuck inside, and I appreciate the abbreviation, by the way, Cap. Appreciate it much. And yeah, getting out and going for a walk, 15 minutes or something, really helpful. Even go outside to do your meditation if it's just sitting out on your back patio. You'd be surprised how much that can help. I often step outside to do my meditations. Many of you know I enjoy grilling. I lit the smoker today, as I said earlier. So I spent some time outside today, got some fresh air while listening to a podcast. It was really good. And now that, they were talking about beer up there, I'm kind of considering having a beer tonight before I go to bed. We'll see how that goes. We'll see if I get there. Got plenty of coffee to drink first. Chris, thanks. I really do appreciate it. Trying to use my art as a coping mechanism. Relax more in my art. That's a great thing, Chris. That really is. Art can be a wonderful, helpful thing. Alex, no, I couldn't run a marathon for my. That's me. I told my friend Alex straight up. I was like, you couldn't get me to run for fun. I ain't going to do it. Only way you're going to get me to run a marathon is if there's a clown with a machine gun chasing me and a pitcher of margaritas at the other end. That's the only way I'm going to do it. I run for necessity, not for fun. Even when I was at my fittest and I could run, and I could do long distance running, I wouldn't do it because it's just not fun. I don't understand this, but people do it. And I'm sure I do things they're like, how is that fun? How do you enjoy that? So, different strokes for different folks. But I had to ask Alex because I was curious. But, hey, I'm glad you're here all the same. Good to have you, Alex. And good to know while I'm sitting there watching other people run, you'll be right there with me. I'll bring the margaritas. So, Oni-chan, good night. Good night, Oni-chan. I'm doing a little better. Oh, crap. Nope, I spoke too soon. I said I was doing better keeping up, and it jumped. Crap. Done that one to myself. Why don't you have a painting of the Great Coffee Dragon? What do you mean the painting? You mean the artwork that we're using for the coffee hour thumbnail or what? Or you just mean me in general? Or is there another coffee dragon you're talking about? Let's see. Emily, I have the same. Bornoldas, hey, glad you finally made it, man. Dream work is a rough road, Chris. It really is. Keeping that dream journal is key, though. So keep at it. Yeah, being stuck inside, it's by and large, it's not had a huge effect on me, though. I'd say the biggest effect is occasionally I find myself drifting off and wanting to get out in the woods more. That's the biggest thing for me. Otherwise, I don't really miss getting out that much. Let's see. Wildfire. Something I've wondered about is the origins of deities, entities, and our multiverse. The Agrigore Theory for deities is interesting, but I don't know your thoughts. Well, if you want to talk about the original origins, I'm not sure I have a lot of answers for you. Each pantheon does have its own mythology and origins of creation because each pantheon did come into creation individually. So technically speaking, all the creation myths are true. And many of the creation myths, especially when it comes to the deities creating the earth itself, they actually overlap, and the different groupings of entities actually work together to create the physical realm. So they do overlap, even though they're written from only one point of view, which I have found truly, truly fascinating. As far as the Agrigore Theory, I've looked into that one. And as someone who comes at it from more of a science, that one really caught my mind and caught my eye real quick. But in working with these entities and working to trace back their sources and stuff, there's way too much that predates humans on a multiversal level for it to actually function as egregores created by humans. So I'm not a big proponent of the Agrigore Theory anymore. I'm not. I can't disprove it. I can't disprove it fully, but also everything that I'm finding in my personal practice points the opposite direction too. So I'm still diving in on that one myself, some wildfire. But I hope that gives you some of an answer, because that is a deep question that I don't know if we'll ever know. I would like to. I'd really like to. What do the dragons think of the asteroid that was passing by the Earth today? They actually didn't pay it no mind. They really did not. Their view of the general multiverse is things happen. And if it was meant to hit this thing, and then it would hit. If not, it wouldn't. Otherwise, all energy patterns are constantly in shift and flux, and that's just a natural part of everything. So they didn't give it too much thought. Wasabi challenge accepted. Hiring a clown, get a chainsaw, ordering it to a truck full of margaritas. Hey, you can try it, Wasabi. Last clown got in my face ended up with a broke nose at a birthday party. I ain't even lying. It was bad. My dad warned me, said there would be a clown at my stepsister's party, and I said, look, I can deal with it. Just keep him out of my face. And lo and behold, he decided that the guy over there who didn't like clowns needed to suddenly like clowns, and he made it his mission to get me to like clowns, and got up all in my space, did not take his warning, so I punched him. Because I'm a nice guy like that. I gave him a warning. My stepsister was somewhat upset with me for punching her clown too, by the way. You in general. Well, we do have I saw and I got blowed up coffee cup that looks like I've been blown up. That does have some artwork of me. It's not the most flattering picture of me, but then again, I just got blowed up in it, so I don't guess it's supposed to be. As far as just a general picture of me, I don't know. I mean, y'all get to see my lovable, goofy, ugly face here every week. So it never occurred to me to put a portrait up on the shop. I did have one person ask for an autographed picture that I actually thought they were joking. And now that you've said this, I'm like, oh, dear God, what if they were serious? Because I don't know. I don't think of me that way. Who would want a picture of me? Oh yeah, our very own Halloween, one of our admin over at the Discord, she's drawn several different little dragons. She drew me one with a coffee cup. I think even her icon is currently a dragon in a teacup, which is absolutely adorable. I'm kind of a weird one. I'm an extroverted introvert. I love to talk to people. I love to get to talk to them. I love to have those conversations, as y'all probably see here when I get to ranting. But I also have a natural magnetic personality, so I can't go to the grocery store without people wandering up to talk to me. And it's not because I'm on YouTube. Most of them don't realize I'm on YouTube. They just come up and start talking to me because I look friendly, I guess. I don't know. I either get told I'm friendly or I scare people. There's no middle ground with me, it seems. So I get plenty of socializing no matter what. Wizard Warrior. Hey, Drake. Getting hemp cord to restring my jewelry. I heard hemp cord is very powerful material. How can I use it for magic or other tools? Best I can tell you, Wizard Warrior, is just by braiding it. I mean, honestly, energetically speaking, I've not noticed difference between hemp cord or cotton twine or any of them. I did check that out at one point because one time when I lived in Richmond, Kentucky, there was a lot of natural hemp pushers for purses and coats and different textile style materials. And as far as a textile, hemp is pretty freaking fantastic and handy. It doesn't meet my standards of need, though. It tends to tear up, and it's not as durable as what I like. But magically, I've not noticed any major differences. So I would honestly just braid it and work it into your jewelry like you're doing. You could also use it in cord magic really well. Um, in fact, when I use it in cord magic, one thing I did once was I took 5 strands of it and braided it into a thicker cord. And then I used that singular cord for the cord magic itself, in which I made sure to, I want to say it was a 9 knot spell that I bound into that particular cord that time. But it during the initial braiding, I was also focused on the intent for that particular cord magic. So the whole braiding had it, and then each knot had it. Would be a great way to go about it. I hope you find that helpful. And yeah, Cal's right. It would make a good hand wrap on your staff or wand. Yeah, they don't tend to miss us because they can just pop in and visit you in the afterlife. So to them, you don't really disappear. Serafina, same here, Serafina. I'm with you. Not a fan of them. Oh yeah, that's right. Bernaldus is the one that done the I came. I saw. I got blowed up coffee mug. Yes, he is. Someone turned Drake. Actually, Emery, they already did. Check out the thumbnail for Magical Coffee Hour. Sarah actually did that dragon holding that coffee cup based off me with my hat and sunglasses. Actually, it's this hat here that she done. She just the band on it she made red just so it'd pop out a bit better. Yeah, so that dragon actually is modeled after me. No, that's the Dragon's Eye seal back here in the background. You can actually get that at the shop. But no, that's not my Zodiac chart in any way. I don't put too much credit in Zodiac charts. They're a great little snapshot, but I find the magicians better off to focus more on controlling the energies. But there are some Zodiac symbols in it on the outermost ring here. I'll be honest with you, my go-to cordage is 550 cord. Inexpensive, durable. I love it. That's my go-to. Cal, hoping to start my work finding the co-magician that wishes to work with me tomorrow. Awesome, Cal. Awesome. Definitely. So that means you already found your guardian too. Congrats. It's good progress. Let's see, Emerald. I wish I could get me turned into a dragon. Well, I don't know what I didn't expect that. Y'all remember the original artwork maybe for the Magical Coffee Hour? It was me and Linda. Um, but once it'd been so long where it was a solo thing, I got the artwork redone because it just felt weird not having the normal coffee hour colors up there, and I was using a stand-in thumbnail. Um, so I talked to Sarah, and because she's the one who done the original, actually, that's how I met her. And I told her to play around with some ideas and let me know what she thought. And that was the first one she threw at me, and I just fell in love with it. So I didn't expect her to turn me into a dragon, but there you go. She done awesome with it. When your third eye opens, is it normal for it to burn an itch? It's actually pretty normal. It really is. Because it sometimes it'll feel like a burn or an itch. Sometimes it'll feel like pressure around the forehead. Those kinds of things. Basically, it's where the mind's expanding and getting used to receiving those informations. Yep. Something I'm unsure about is it okay to describe your guardian dragon looks like? Oh, definitely. The appearance is fine. The name is really the big thing you don't want to share unless they give you permission. Until you get that permission, you don't want to share the name, but you can describe what they look like. Ever want to do a special guest for Magical Coffee Hour? It's been discussed. It has. In fact, there's two people I'm actually wanting to try and get on here, which I think I've mentioned both of them. I know I've mentioned one of them. So first off would be Raven, which is one of my original mentors, and now someone I still research and study with as a colleague. I'd love to get her on here. So y'all can ask her questions. She can share some of her insights and the like. She'd be a fantastic guest. As well as a friend of mine, Katrina, who I think her insights and stuff in magic and some of the areas she works in would be really fascinating. Those are the two right off the bat that I'd like to get in here. Um, I know many of you have requested me trying to drag my wife on here, kicking and screaming. Um, we will see what happens with that. So far, she's still drawing a hard no. Um, at one point, she said she might consider it if she gets to wear a mask and a hood and you can't see her face, so at least she can hide behind it. So, hey, so there's a maybe. Maybe we can count that one as a maybe. Jamin, what's your opinion? Some people enjoy using meteorites more than crystals. What's your opinion? Honestly, meteorite stones, they all work pretty well. Meteorites do have kind of a magnetic energy about them, which I do find useful. It's the same thing as a magnetic stone native to Earth. By and large, I actually don't use a lot of stones and crystals in my practice. I prefer something that's a bit more just transportable. I try to rely more on me and less on tools, crystals, and stones for that reason. So the stones I do have are what's left from a collection that either I've used it, given it away, whatnot. I tend not to use a lot of them anymore. But over the years when I did use them, hands down, I didn't find that much of a difference between a meteorite and a crystal or a stone. It was just what was I necessarily looking for. Some of the heavier stones, if it was a heavy stone and I was looking for that heavy energy, I found it worked well. But most often I just went with crystal quartz because I liked the way it was programmable. It was just easy to use and versatile. And that's kind of me. I want that Swiss Army knife of an item. I don't want a unitasker. I want something that will multitask. Miranda, can y'all give some tips on astral projection? Miranda, I actually have a video on astral projection on the channel. I actually gives several tips on astral projection and how to do it easily. So give that one a check. That's actually going to be cover more than what I can cover in the few minutes we got here on each question. But one of the big things is a lot of people looks for this dramatic whoom, kind of zooming sensation, almost like Superman flying across the globe. Um, Honestly, astral projection more often than not is going to feel more of a dream because it will be in the awakened state, but a large part of your astral projection, especially when you first start, will what you see is going to look like more in your mind's eye than anything else. And it can be hard to really separate that because there isn't that big woo Superman moment. But do check out that video. And it should give you a good start on it. It really should. I've gotten a lot of emails and stuff from people who they've been trying for a long time, and they say that video was the push they needed to get over the edge. So I guess that's a good thing. I'll take it as a compliment because they got their astral projection practice going. Let's see. Well, Earth Dragon Miner's secret about it. Like to know who the person you're telling is. Miranda Bowen, how do you see your dragons? You have to use your arcane sight, which we have a video on the arcane senses. And if you go to workingdragonmystic.com, there's actually a full class detailing how to develop your arcane sight. And it's absolutely free over there, so you can check that out too, Miranda. But you will be using your mind's eye to view and see your dragons as well. So yeah, a lot of information, and welcome. Mugs up to you. Spooks, welcome. Emery's, could dinosaurs be just lesser dragons? I get asked this question a lot, and it's something I've wondered about myself. And I've been trying to get soul travel accurate enough that I could possibly get a more defined answer. That said, when it comes to soul traveling across times, that's a little harder. Because you need something to lock onto usually, and there's nothing accurate to lock onto. It becomes a problem. But I am working on it. With that said, at this point in time, I do not think they are. I do not. They do appear to be a separate life form that existed on this planet. Fascinating grouping of life forms, actually. But I do not get the sense that they were dragons. Though there are a few dinosaur fossils that makes me wonder if they aren't partially dragon fossils as we've put them together. But dinosaurs as a whole category, I think, no, if that makes sense. Drake, you have very excellent instructional videos. Anna, thank you. I do appreciate that. I really do. I am glad this channel has been able to help so many people. That right there in and of itself is a blessing. So, and it's encouraging to keep up the work. It really is. So thank you. Let's see, Cal. Something interesting I find with my sanctum is that I see everything from the third person, including myself. Sometimes I switch. Cal, that's actually very common in the astral travel and astral projection. Since it is a mental projection of you, it does allow the view to actually zoom in and out. And one thing I was actually this is going to sound goofy, but I got an opportunity to speak with a really, really old magician who's never played a video game. And this was important to me. This was important. I know this sounds like the goofiest thing to look for, but it was important to find it because I wanted to know if this point of view switching that so many magicians talk about now was common pre-video game. Because really, when you think about that switching of point of views and camera angles, video games are kind of where it comes from mostly. And according to him, yes, it does predate that, which I thought that was pretty cool. Almost not relevant there. I know the whole video game section wasn't. But, hey, I thought it was cool anyway. Well, Cal, Tara's not talking about what we humans classify as a dragon. He's talking about what dragons themselves classify as dragons. And they are very picky on that title. Are dragon turtles real? Yeah. I mean, you can actually Google. Wait, hold on. Are you talking about like D&D dragon turtles? Because D&D dragon turtles, like those monstrous, the size of a freaking boat. No, those are not real. But there is a variety of snapping turtle called a dragon turtle, and that sucker's like that big around. It's like as big as I am. They are freaking monsters. They are awesome looking. And I would encourage you to look those up. Those are really cool. They got a massive pounds per square inch bite. I know a few fishermen who's hauled one up before. They are good eating, not going to lie there. But they are massive, massive turtles, which honestly, snapping turtles in general can get big. Just down here in the south where I live, well, okay, hold on. I've not seen one here where I currently live, but where I grew up, I mean, big snapping turtles were pretty commonplace. So, yeah, I mean, at least a snapping turtle in that respect, yes, that would be real. But like the massive boat sinking D&D ones, no. Now that well, and I will say on a physical sense, I've not seen a dragon turtle in the plains either per se. Now X-Boon Well, he does have a shell. Not X-Boon Well. Hold on, crap. Torgra. Torgra has a shell. So if you go check out the video on Torgra, he has a shell, and he's actually one of the more interesting dragons I've met. He doesn't refer to himself as a dragon turtle. In fact, you call him that, he'll get a little pissy. But he does have a shell, but he don't look like a turtle. He looks like a European-style dragon that has a shell and the wings poking out of it. But he's the only one I've encountered with that shell. Alex, I've always heard Lucifer counts as a draconian entity. Since I work with him and dragons, I'm interested in knowing what does. Okay, Alex, draconian magic and dragon magic are two separate things. Draconian magic does deal with Lucifer, and it deals with many entities that oftentimes use dragon symbolism or serpent symbolism in its practice. And Lucifer is an entity that will occasionally appear in a form of a dragon, but he himself is not a dragon, where a dragon actually is literally a dragon. And draconian magic and dragon magic do work very well together. Actually, I have a video on draconian magic and dragon magic and the differences between them. Oh, dude, sorry about that. Did I miss it? I'm not even seeing it. Oh, what were my negative experiences with angels? Well, I guess it depends on what you view as negative. Honestly, me and them just tend to butt heads a lot. Where angels tend to be very, very orderly, lawful, process-style entities, them and I tend to butt heads. They tend to like to take things slow, orderly, step by step, and that annoys the living piss out of me. In fact, me and Raphael got in a full-blown argument over healing because I was needing his help with something, and he flat out said no. And I mean, he had good reasons. I understood his reasons. It's still frustrating at the time. I don't hold it against him. But Michael, the Archangel Michael, seems to be the one I get along best with, just because. So I really can't call it negative per se. It's just we've always butted heads, and I found it easier to go elsewhere to get help. And I can generally get the same help elsewhere. I've never found anything they can do that I can't get done quicker elsewhere due to my personality. So it's actually me that I look at as being the problem. It's my personality. But that doesn't mean I don't want to know more about them and learn about them. In fact, I think it would do me well to learn more about them. Possibly even help me learn a bit more patience. Earth Dragon, I think you'll like it. I've heard nothing but compliments and good reviews of the Dragon Magic 101 course, which is great because I put a lot of work into that. I'm glad to see so many of you people are enjoying it. True Dragons, new. I do think some medieval authors did pin them as dragon entities, but as far as the dragons themselves are viewed, they do not view crocodiles as dragons, no. Sierra, yeah, I think that is another name of it. It's the alligator snapping turtle. You are correct. That is another name of it. I think that's actually the more appropriate name. I think the dragon turtle is actually kind of a nickname of it. But just in case, I wanted to be clear on it. Okay, we're going to have to get ready to wrap up here. I apologize for not being able to get to all these questions. Let's see what we got here. Drake, do you know any ways outside of servitors to automate some of your magic activities? Not really, I don't. And honestly, I wouldn't. A magician shouldn't want to automate. Everything you automate is something that you take out of your control and is just another cog that can go wonky. And if you truly want to manage and maintain the energy in your life and manifest it to its maximum benefit, it's something you need to be doing daily and working with, and at least the bare minimum weekly. I actually do workings daily to push forward my agenda and what I'm doing and what I'm working on and what I'm trying to manifest. And I do a massive working weekly, including scrying and divinations forward, so that I can realign energy to exactly what I'm doing. And to also take into account, maybe I want to shift gears. Maybe I want to focus more heavily on different things. And if I automate those things, I cannot do that as efficiently because the more things it has to go through, the more watered down it becomes and the less potent. That doesn't work for me. And I honestly do not encourage overly automating things. That's just generally my 2 cents on it. I think it's, oh man, it's Torgraua, I think. You'll find a video on him in the Dragon Magic playlist, Wizard Warrior. I cannot remember how to spell his name right now. That's why I have journals. Introverted alchemist, how important do you find diet? I'm going to take a last few before we get going, but introverted alchemist asks, how important do I find diet in accordance to magic? Actually, very. Um, One of the things, due to some injuries and whatnot, I'm not in shape as well as I'd like to be, but I am working on getting back in shape. That said, though, hands down, my entire magical career, I can tell a drastic difference in my ability in magic when eating well and eating junk food. I really can. Um, Now, that said, this means that your diet in some way does affect energy. Okay? Now, I'll be honest, I've never found a magician that functions optimally on pure vegan. I've seen some vegetarians that do well. Um, but that said, just because I've never seen them doesn't mean they're not out there. But at the same time, I think most magicians I've met will say they run optimally on low carbohydrates. So, well, I don't know, that'd be more keto or paleo ish. Me personally, and this is me personally, let me state that again, me personally, I seem to do best on extremely low carb keto to full carnivore. If I am just eating like meat, like beef, and beef is actually the better one. Beef and chicken tend to be my go tos. If all I eat is beef and chicken with a little seasoning and has to be real butter, then my energy levels, my mental clarity, all of it just go through the roof. And it's amazing. I love the way I feel. And my weight goes down. My blood work looks fantastic. So, I mean, all around, that seems to be optimal for me. Again, that seems to be optimal for me. We're not a nutrition channel, but we did get asked a question about diet. So I do think diet is extremely important for your magic. but I don't necessarily think that it's going to be the same for everyone. And I would be lying if I said I'm not looking into a bit of the nutrition and biochemistry on some of these things and possibly understanding why. Which we do see these things pop up in ancient text as well, including things like fasting. And actually, if you look at the research data on fasting, or Dr. Fung actually has some fascinating books published with lots and lots of research laid out in almost a science journal like manner, grant you. They're not entertaining to read. I love reading research, so I'm a nerd like that. I'm weird. But there does seem to definitely be a correlation there. And it's not hard to see the mental clarity and the natural energy production that comes from that controlled fasted state. Mind you, there's a difference in fasted and starvation, drastically different. And I do think that is an area that really needs more research. The problem right now is you just got a bunch of food ideologists that are arguing and just bickering back and forth. Like, you try to say to some of these vegans that keto, where meat's allowed, is a perfectly healthy, functional, metaphysical diet. They're going to try and lynch you for it. They ain't going to like that. They ain't going to like that at all. There's a certain zealotry that comes in with ways of eating these days. And I think that's going to get in the way of the research. We need to have an open mind and understanding when we go into these. And we need to know that we're not all the same. And I think that's a huge, huge thing. But like anything, zealotry can get in the way of good research and knowledge. Hopefully that doesn't happen. Hopefully it doesn't happen. But yeah, I do think you should be mindful of what you eat and how it makes you feel. You really should. So I hope that answers your questions a bit there, introverted alchemist. Wizard War, yeah, genetics definitely comes into play on that for sure, for sure. And I know a few people in the fields of genetics that I'm actually wanting to talk to. Yeah, the nerd in me just has to know. I have to know. So, but that said, we will see what I find out. But at least for now, I can honestly say your diet does have an effect on you magically. So be mindful of what you eat, definitely. Me, I still try to break my cravings. It's not a sweet tooth I have. I just like bread or potatoes. But those are, if I just get rid of my sweet or my bread tooth, I guess, and just eat meat, I run great. Yeah, that's a good thing. I'm not giving up meat. And luckily I seem to function optimally on it. So yay. Works great for me. But like I said, everyone, it's a little different. So you just have to pay attention to what you eat, how you eat it, and how you feel. Those things, pay attention, meditate on it, and be mindful of it. And I think that will help you out drastically. Okay? All right, everyone. It has been fun to be able to sit here and chat with you and close out my weekend, get a few good laughs, and share some coffee with you. I want every one of y'all to have a wonderful week. Stay safe out there. Again, if you're in any of these colder areas, do your best to stay warm. And if the roads are bad anywhere, drive safe. I know there's plenty of bad roads right now. But until then, I will get back to trying to film some more reasonably educational videos and sharing my opinions. We do have a video coming out Tuesday. Be sure to check it out. If you haven't, go over to the Teespring store. You'll see the link below. You can get some of the mugs, just like the one I'm drinking out of here. Some of the magic circles, like the dragons I seal back here, or some portraits. Everything there, of course, does help benefit and support the channel and what we do here in the work. Also, thank you to the Patreon members. You guys are great. Your support helps us out a great deal. And as I told you all this last week, the spell work for March is coming up for Tier 2 and Tier 3. So if you are a Patreon subscriber and you have any special requests, make sure you get those to me so that I can include that in the normal spell work. Okay? All right, everyone. You have a great week, and I will see you all next Friday. Take care. Bye-bye.